There's a new thing that seems to be happening now. Before, there you would never find a Nigerian taking the powder, but now they are becoming addicted to their own supply, and they are being kicked out of their own communities. They're being disregarded by their own communities. That's what he's just said.
Community where? In South Africa or in Nigeria?
Yes, in South Africa. He's talking about South Africa.
Oh, okay. I'm talking about my experience in Nigeria. I don't know much about
You guys
South
have
Africa.
a very, very strict, I'm going to put it like this. Yeah, well, I'm going to tell you about South Africa. You guys have a very strict rule book when it comes to pushing powders. Anyone who falls into the trap of what they have been supplying is immediately ousted from your community because you are too afraid that it's going to be spread amongst other Igbo people. We know that you guys are very tribalistic, and in order to protect other Igbo people, what you do is as soon as you find that this person is on that substance, he gets kicked out. Whatever happens to him thereafter is his own problem. That is what has happened. Now, if you don't want to listen to what I'm saying, or if you don't want to believe what I'm saying, my last uploaded video, you will find it directly under a video where it states, and in the caption it states, Tanzanians are claiming to be Igbo in order to push their powders. Right? You can go to that video, you can see what I do. I do outreach, and I do outreach to just about anyone. You know, there used to be a time when I said to myself, outreach is outreach, human is human, let me go out and do outreach to just about anyone. Now I've come to a point where I've seen it, that foreigners in South Africa stick with foreigners in South Africa. And in terms of actually getting help or offering help, it does not happen that the foreigners will actually come to South Africans to say, how can I help you to get off it? You know, I actually left a comment on another Nigerian's account where he said, us Nigerians, we need to start behaving in South Africa because if the police come to you, this X, Y, and Z is going to happen. Now, just to let you know, I just need to correct Unfiltered on one thing. I do not work with the SAPS, and I have reasons for that, but I have very different ways and means of getting rid of the problems that we have. And one of those ways is, should I find that someone is not Igbo or someone is not Tanzanian and they are claiming to be Malawian or whatever it is, I'm that person that goes to other people and tells them, listen here, that person is claiming to be a Malawian because he wants to fly under the radar while he is selling his stuff. Or that person is claiming to be Igbo and yet he's a Tanzanian and he wants to fly under the radar as well. And that is how I deal with it. I've learned how to actually get you people to sort each other out. To the point that I had a few Biafrans, and you know what, I salute them. That is why I'm on this panel. Because there are Biafrans that came to me and they said to me, we are not like the other Igbo people. We do not believe in pushing powders. So I asked them, what do you know about Biafra? And that's when it was told to me. We are Biafrans. We do not believe in pushing powders because these people are destroying the name of our country. So please tell us, where can we find this person? This was about 9 months ago. Since then, I haven't found this guy again. I haven't seen him. When I asked the other homeless guys, all they said was, he got into the car with those Nigerian guys and we haven't seen him after that. And I said, yes, that is the way we're going to start dealing with this problem. Because when it gets reported to the SAPS, then you, no, hold on. And why I will not deal with the SAPS is because you guys have this habit. When I say you guys, I'm talking about Igbo people in general. You have this habit. As soon as it gets reported to SAPS, you'll find that another policeman is getting paid by a Nigerian to come and take me out because I'm trying to get my people off. Do you think I'm afraid for my life? You can only take my life once. But every time you take another South African's life by pushing powders, it is like I am being unalived over and over and over again. And I'm tired of it. I'm at a point now where I said, and I did say to Unfiltered on a very private conversation, I am even willing to be necklaced as an example about how people that are pushing powders should be dealt with. About how certain people or certain characters should be dealt with. Because one thing I'm not going to do is I'm not going to make statements and then not stand by my word. So if I believe in necklacing to be the solution, I offer myself to be necklaced.
Yeah.
Make an example to say that if this person is this way, then let's sort him out like that.
Hold on. I just want us to say something. Hold on, Yuri. You're coming in just now. I want to ask a question. Mel, Mel, are you here?
I'm here, Sissy.
Okay. I want to ask you a question. From what you know, is an Igbo and a Biafran the same thing?
I know. Apparently, they are not.
Okay, and where did you get that information from?
I got that information from the biggest guy in the group, Gosife.
Yes, in Nigeria. Now, when
Yes.
Okeke is saying Igbo or Biafra, it becomes very confusing for us guys. I understand you're all of the Igbo tribe, but the Biafrans, you behave a specific way.
Unfiltered. Not all Igbos believe in the idea of Biafra. So those Igbos that not believe in the idea of Biafra are what Gosife are talking about. So not everybody supporting Nnamdi Kanu in Igbo. But the majority of the people supports him. That's what happened.
Why is Okeke saying Igbo is Biafra?
Maybe he's just he's just saying the one.
My sister, don't allow Biafran to deceive you. You are allowing this Biafran to deceive you. I'm telling you.
It's not your turn to speak, please. It's not your turn. You just coming in here.
Let's allow him to ask the question. Okay, he can ask the question. Go ahead and ask your question, Yuri.
I want to there are a lot of things that happened. The last speaker, I want to advise that last speaker. Don't allow this Biafran to come and deceive you. Most of the Igbo, 99% of the Igbo are supporting Biafra. Because to them, it's a traumatic. They were brought up to believe in this agitation of Biafra. So don't come and I've never seen any on this TikTok who is an Igbo and is not in support of Biafra. Show me one.
All the Southeast governors are not in support of the Biafra. All the Southeast senators are not in support. All Igbo senators, all Igbo governors are not in support of Biafra. So I've told you one. Yeah, that's the thing.
These are politicians.
And they have followers. And they have followers as well.
Money from the state. How can they support Biafra?
That's the thing. That's
Every
the
month
Igbos.
they are getting money. How can they support Biafra?
Those are the Igbos who are telling you that they are not supporting Biafra.
Okay.
But you say,
all right, guys. All right, let's allow Aji Skopele to ask a question. Aji, go ahead.
Okay, it's not really a question. I think it's more of a statement, but it's going to be quick.
Okay, go ahead quickly.
The reasons why you would say most Igbos are Biafrans is because they are sympathetic to their past, what happened to their people. But most Igbos are not IPOB supporters. So a Biafran is basically an Igbo. That's fine. You can be a Biafran. I'm okay with that. But being a Biafran and being an IPOB supporter is different. It's two different things. We should differentiate both. IPOB is an organization whereby some Igbo people have subscribed to that belief. They more extreme. But being a Biafra in the sense of being a Biafra, like I'm Igbo and Biafra, that is okay. I don't have a problem with that. That is fine. Like saying someone is Biafra.
Aji, what is the difference between Biafra and IPOB?
Okay, so Biafra is basically what Igbo people believe is their land and their identity, right? And there are people who have went to war and fought this war, and things happen to their ancestors. That is fine. We've moved on from that. You can be sympathetic to your own culture and your people and actually show sympathy to them. I mean, you're connected to those people. But being an IPOB member is different. IPOB members are calling for the separation of the state from Nigeria. They want to separate from Nigeria. So that's the difference between a Biafran and an IPOB member. But a Biafran can be an IPOB member, but an IPOB member is not every Biafran. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
I've got a question for you. But I've heard that there are Yoruba Biafrans, there's Hausa Biafrans. Is that true?
Yeah, man.
Okay, yes, okay. Then again, that proves my point. Okay, wait, let me just answer a question. That proves my point that people are sympathetic to what happened to the Igbo people during the Civil War. So that is different. That is different.
Biafra and IPOB, they are the same.
Let me just finish. It's not the same.
IPOB are the militant.
Let me finish. The host has not even recognized you. You're being very, you're out of order, man. Jesus Christ.
Hold on, Fortune. Hold on. I'll allow you to come in.
You just made my point. You said other tribes are sympathetic to this Biafran thing. So that is telling you that people are sympathetic to what happened to them during the civil war, and they were fighting that war to separate. That is fine. But now we have a new organization whereby other people from different tribes are even IPOB members too. So you cannot say IPOB is the same as Biafra. I don't understand. I don't know if you understand the difference here.
I understand.
Yeah, because an IPOB member, anybody can be part of it if they believe in
Can
that ideology.
I ask you a question, please, Mr.
Hold on, Fortune. I'll allow you to come in, my brother. I saw you want
Okay,
to
you don't have to be rude. You can say Mr. G, whatever. If you can't pronounce my name, you can ask me what's your name, and I will tell you what it is. I don't understand how you people behave.
So, and actually, he's not Igbo, guys. So please don't attack him. He's not Igbo, but he's like Pakunzi. They state the truth for what it is. And John Chilo. My other question for you, Aji. So, in Nigeria, would always say to us, Igbos, you get Igbos that are not part of Biafrans are the ones that are almost like the loose cannons. They're the ones that don't know how to they don't have any self-discipline. They're the ones that will get themselves involved in all this powder pushing and all criminal activities. Biafrans are more of a more disciplined type of people.
My sister, this
Okay.
This is please stop that deception. Biafrans, stop this deception.
I was asked the question. Wait, my brother. Okay, and Nigeria can have his opinion about that. That is fine, but most of the time, unfiltered, when you speak to Biafrans, where are they always? They are always outside the country, right? And if we're going by the narrative that Nigerians outside the country are the ones causing the troubles, and more Biafrans are outside the country. So who was causing the trouble? Do the math, make it make sense. 1 + 1 is 2. So if Nigeria is saying that, then that is counterproductive to what he's saying, because most Biafrans are outside the country when they want to agitate, because that's where they can agitate freely, and they abuse the laws there, whereby they say freedom of speech, but they can't do it in Nigeria, right? So if people are complaining that Nigerians are causing problems in their country, and most Biafrans are outside Nigeria, so who is causing the problem? So how come the Biafrans are the one who are good people, who are the best, and the Igbos that don't believe in Biafra are the worst? Like, make it make sense.
Okay. All right. Let's allow Mel to ask a question, then okay.
Sissy,
allow me to ask
I
my
have
question.
a question for
I'll allow you now.
Hold on. I have a question for.
I want to add to what AJ said.
Okay,
I think it's
Yuri,
for.
guys, I'm going to allow everybody.
Excuse me.
Can I ask the-
Let me ask Ajisco question. I want to ask him a question, just simple question. Can you tell me the full meaning
So,
of
okay,
IPOB?
my question doesn't count, Fortune, because
Hold on,
I also want to
Fortune.
ask a question.
Fortune, hold on, Fortune. She said in the comment section she wants to ask a question. That's why I'm giving her a chance. She said it long time ago. Mel, go ahead.
I'm asking Agis Kopela and the Biafrans. So if Igbo and IPOB is different and Biafra is also different, let's say if I decide to live in Nigeria, and then I am sympathetic to being in IPO. Can I join IPOB? Being a South African living in Nigeria, and I understand the movement and everything. Will I be able to join this organization?
Yes.
Tell me what
About the land. It's not about being from originally there.
Tell me one IPOB member that is not Igbo. Tell me. Or tell me.
That's what I want to understand, is that it's not about being. That's why I was asking the Biafrans and Agis Kopela. I think they'll be able to answer us properly.
Tell me.
I'm
in Nigeria. Tell me one IPOB that is not Igbo.
I can give you a popular guy.
Biafran that is not Igbo.
I can give you.
Come and start deceiving people
Can I
unnecessarily.
just give you one?
Because the lie is too much.
Let him tell us the full meaning of IPOB.
Can I give you one?
The full meaning. Just tell us the full meaning of IPOB.
Professor Idu is an Asian man from Edo State. He's an IPOB member. He's not Igbo. What's her name? This other lady from Asia. She's an Asian woman too. She's an IPOB member. She's not Igbo. Again, you people.
On TikTok, anybody can come and say anything.
It doesn't pronounce himself as IPOB.
So you are mentioning people that are on TikTok.
Biafra is claiming Biafra is not IPOB.
I was asked a question.
Guys, for me, this is very confusing then. This is very confusing. So, IPOB is let's just say it's the military wing of
Thank you. The militant.
No,
Yeah.
ESN is the military wing. ESN again, you keep spreading misinformation. ESN is the military wing of the movement. Again, it's
okay,
simple.
and IPOB is what?
IPOB itself is the movement. Is the
agitation of Biafra, my sister. Let me tell you, it started.
Hold on, Yuri. Let's
Let me tell you.
Ask him to tell us the full meaning of IPOB.
Let me tell you.
Indigenous people of Biafra. So what? So what?
What are you saying now? You are differentiating IPOB and Biafra.
No way.
Are you not? Don't you see you are confusing people?
No, I'm not confusing people. You just. I mean, we speak.
You are confusing people. You are telling us IPOB is different from Biafra.
Let me say something. You know?
But you have not been recognized.
This agitation of Biafra, you know, it started with wait now. It started
but you cannot do that. Wait for the host to give orders of who.
Wait, let me say something. Let me say something, please. I'm begging you.
Okay.
I started with what? Ojukwu. There was a civil war. It ended. People feel that Rap Wazreke came with Mazob. There was Mazob. Nnamdi Kanu was in Mazob. He broke away from Mazob and created IPOB. That's what happened. It's all about agitation of Biafra. IPOB is it's an offshoot of Mazob because he fought with Rap Wazreke. Then Nnamdi Kanu created his own group of agitation of Biafra, IPOB. What are you telling me? This is all about Biafran agitation. And he came and created paramilitary group, ESN, that are terrorizing their people. IPOB is about Biafran agitation. It's not about one group or militant group that know that. It's about Biafran agitation led by Nnamdi Kanu. And even there, like this guy
you cannot be talking about me when I'm here. You cannot be talking about somebody else to be telling my story when I'm here.
You can come and say that. No. Even the IPOB.
You're gonna come in, Nabuke. You're gonna come in, but Walker must come.
My sister, even the IPOB divided into two now. There is DOS. There is autopilot. These are the things how they start dividing people. There is autopilot and DOS.
Okay, let's allow Yuri, let's allow a Biafran, let's allow Noke to come in and tell his story. Noke, go ahead.
Okay, go on.
Host, it's quite unfortunate that if I'm not an American, I'll be here telling stories of Americans to an American. To me, it's a bit of biasness, because how can some people who are not even IPOB and who have hate, they are filled with hatred against IPOB member telling the history about IPOB member. IPOB are a registered organization calling for referendum, just like we have in South Africa. People presently, some of these white Africans are calling for self-determination. None of them are in jail. The same thing that Nigel Farage of England did, call for referendum for UK to leave European Union. He wasn't in jail. Northern Ireland is calling for unification of the whole of Ireland. None of the people calling for that is in jail.
Hold on, Yuri.
I'm making my submission. I'm making my
People
submission.
are confused. Tell them who are IPOB,
Stop.
who is ESN, who is
Since you've
Biafra.
been talking, I've never said anything. Why are you so uncivilized? Can you just shut up? Let me continue my submission, please. Thank you. And Scotland has called for referendum to have their separate state. None of them are in jail, right? And you see people here talking about IPOB, talking about Biafra. And also, I want to address our brother Methuselah about people dealing on illegal activity. It's quite unfortunate. If you catch anybody on that, deal with them. It doesn't matter, crime, nobody, right? We live in Western world. We do our legitimate business. We work with volunteers here. We work with the politicians here as well. We are well known here,
From
right?
Biafrans or Igbos. Who are we? We are confused.
Can this uncivilized guy shut up? Let me finish my thing, man. What's wrong with this guy, right? So whenever you see people, whether he's Igbo or what, deal with them. We are not in support of any such crime. It's quite unfortunate. And these are the reasons why we are calling to have our separate state, so that we can able to what Nigeria cannot provide for us. Let those people who love Nigeria so much carry on with their stupidity in Nigeria. We want to build a nation that a black race will be marveled. We want to have a nation that is not controlled by the Western supremacy. And that's what we are. We have seen Nigeria. Other countries in Africa can get it right, but you see Nigeria, it is impossible. Mark it somewhere. Nigeria is a place where yesterday is always better than tomorrow. This guy is calling the other guy, what was his name? Ajesco, wherever. He's trying to come together to build Nigeria and all this nonsense. These are garbage we've been hearing ever since we were born. Up to today, people are running away out of the country, constituting nuisance to other countries. Is that how we're gonna keep on living? Living your so-called country and running away because Nigeria is a crap, a shithole, a zoo. If Nigeria is good, why would we be calling for a separate state? Why would we be agitating to have a free referendum, to have our own nation? Because we have seen